All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second episode of Chat with a Rat with Joe Murray Jr. Say hello.
What's going on, people? I'm just here to completely shit the bed and make sure that this is as little interesting. We're going to talk about taxes
Yeah.
and the things you can do, like IRAs and no, he's got no. Anyway,
I'll start off by asking you if you have anything, because I did this on the last episode, and it ended up getting cut off on the video, and I felt bad.
oh man, I was really hoping it was going to go that way this time.
But I'll ask you if you have anything coming up, any shows or anything like that.
I don't. My comedy is kind of hard to schedule. That single dad life.
Fair,
You know, I got two all the time, so like it costs me money to go to mics, and
yeah.
like I do like doing shows, but it's really hard for me to get out.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Are there any open mics you're planning on doing?
I'm actually going to try and hit the. My schedule just dramatically shifted this week, so I'm going to try and start hitting them more often. But definitely going to do the Polk County circuit this week, which is the two places in Polk County on Wednesday.
yeah. Pink Piano and LOL.
Yeah, because I still have to do dad stuff like baseball and coaching and music lessons. All
Right.
that fun stuff.
Yeah.
I have to. My life has changed so much since where I started.
As it does, yes. I know how that is also. Luckily, I don't have Rowdy and very many extra, like...
Extracurriculars.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, those things.
I don't know why. I'm like, yeah, let's sign up. Why did I do this? Why do I keep doing this for myself? And it's like, oh yeah, because I wanted somebody else to watch them. Why I got to sit and watch them. It's like,
Right.
It's like, it's way better.
I know Rowdy just is interested. He wants to be a YouTuber, so that's what he spends all of his time trying to do that. making
I mean,
videos.
I think there's a lot of people made a lot of money doing that.
Yeah.
But it's just whether or not the algorithm likes you that day.
Exactly. I told him, I was like, well, that benefits me greatly. I don't have to worry about work anymore. If you're going to be famous.
We're just going to be opening toys.
Yeah, exactly. I can buy you a new toy per week. That's fine. So, how long have you been doing comedy for altogether?
Altogether, probably about 3 years. I didn't actually start out trying to do comedy. I met Art Zager through a mutual friend.
Okay.
And we were just sitting shooting the shit and drinking beer, and he's like, you need to get up on stage. And the rest is history. I've done a whole, like when I had it's 3 years, pandemic's in there, so it's like a year and a half.
Right, yeah.
And it was really just like, I didn't even do an open mic. My first was Carnival at Pink Piano.
Really?
Yeah, they're just like, go up and do it. And I'm like, all right.
Fair enough.
Some Dutch courage, and on my way I went.
Right on, that's cool. Do you remember who put that one on?
It was Art.
Okay, yeah.
I was like,
Art's good about letting new people get up on.
Yeah, I was like really, really clever. Like, you have no idea how many times I put a Carnival ringmaster's costume into my Amazon cart to buy, because it's like Art's gonna put it on if I buy it.
Oh, that would be great.
I want that sparkle tuxedo and like some Greatest Showman stuff. Just Art coming out.
I'm here for it. I would definitely watch that. Sounds great. And I'm sure he would do it too.
Yeah, and then I'd probably dress up like a carny. I look like the dude who's been smoking too much and should not be watching the rides.
So you just look like everybody else in Polk County.
Yes. That's it. Well, I mean, I guess maybe that's where we all come from. I mean, maybe they didn't let the carnies settle in Sarasota with the rest of Ringling, and they pushed them into Polk County. And they just got into the genetics.
There's definitely some carny.
There's carny blood running all through this county.
Definitely, without a doubt. With that show, that first show that I did, that first Comedy Carnival, you were on that, weren't you?
I think I might have. It's actually funny. I think we were on 3 different shows before I saw your first, before I actually, because you always went on right after me.
Right.
And when I get up there, like, I feel like I have a good time and everything like that, but I come off, my heart rate's pumping like I just ran 3 miles.
Yeah.
And like I have to go outside. People want to talk to me, and I'm like, this is not the time. I'm like I'm a freight wire right now. So.
Right. Yeah, I almost always miss the next person that's
Yeah.
right after me because I go straight outside and smoke cigarettes
Yeah.
as soon as I finish. Even if it goes great, and still just like, oh, I need to.
I have no idea if it ever goes great. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, people are like, oh, you were so funny. I'm like, was I?
Yeah.
And then like, oh my God, Andy filmed the last one we did, like the one at Union, and my friend's like, oh, I want to watch it because I have a couple of friends who are like out of state. Oh, I want to watch it, so I put it up there for watch it, and you can't hear anything but what the mic was picking up. So unless everybody was laughing really loud, you can't hear it on the
Right.
So it sounds like you're bombing so hard, and they're all like, you guys, they're like, oh, it's so funny, and I'm like, is it though? It's like I'm watching this and just like I can feel like my head, my spine retracting past my collarbone, with the cringe, you know?
I've had both things happen. I've had like gone back and watched recordings for sets that I did that I felt like didn't go that well, like I didn't get that much very many laughs, and I'll go back and watch it, and when I go back and watch it, I'm like, this sounds like a whole lot more people were laughing than I remember, you know?
Yeah.
But then I've also had the opposite happen where I was on stage and I felt like I was killing it, and then I go back and watch the video and it sounds just like one table of people laughing. yeah, right. I was like, ooh, maybe it was just depending on where you were standing in the room. So yeah, it is hard to tell. Always hard to tell. But I know that first comedy carnival, Art put me on that also, and I think at that time I had done one open mic like with him, and then he was like, I have a show coming up, you want to do it? And I was like, okay.
Yeah, Art's really good about that.
Yeah,
he's best people.
He is. Art is great. So I wrote some questions for you that I'll read off to you.
Yes, it makes you gay. Is that the answer?
I do. Well, here's one that I have one written down. How long have you been dating men exclusively?
How long have I been dating men? Exclusively? I mean, like, you're going to get me in trouble by saying that. Because, no, I'm not a big, I'm right on that borderline. I think maybe if I grew up in a different time, I'd be bi, but I didn't.
Fair.
Like, it's one of those things where it's like, I can appreciate the male form, but I never looked at a penis and like, yes, I want that one.
Well, can't relate.
Fair, I
mean. So, would you rather rock a dorky tourist hat all day, or have a really bad sunburn on your head?
That's my option every day. I don't know if anybody can see this on camera because of the lighting, but I put on SPF 100 today and was outside for 3 hours, and I am scorched, and it's only March.
Oh, no.
And then I have my head is shaped like it's flat on top for the most part, and oval shaped, so I have to there's so much stuff that I just avoid because of the people who get associated with it. I really think I look good in a Scully and things like that, but I can't stand half the people who wear Scullys.
Oh yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
And it's and I'm not saying it's all of them,
right.
But if you're one of them and you're get offended by this, you're probably one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. Some people can pull off stuff like that, and some people it's like, what are you doing?
I'm built for layers and also less UV exposure. So
yeah.
I should be in a much colder climate, but
right.
Here I am 6 inches from the sun.
Yeah. No, yeah, I definitely think that you've got the look of someone who would have the beanie on. And,
I wear a beanie constantly.
Yeah, and stuff. Yeah.
Because I love it. Plus, I work in tech and that's the style.
Yeah.
It's it's either that or you have to wear the button down with a puffy vest.
Right, yeah.
But that's for management, and I don't wear khakis.
Yeah.
If you see me in khakis, it was because it was required.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you got that whole I brew my own beer look.
I do. You know what's funny is that's I went to school for chemistry, so Like, I actually love the process of brewing.
Okay.
I hate fucking drinking beer.
Really?
It just does. Like, I'm 6'5", I'm 300 pounds, I'm Irish. My tolerance level when I haven't been drinking is ridiculous. If I'm seasoned, like when I was going out, like I would go shot for shot with people and still be the DD because I'm, I'm just never getting there.
Yeah.
And I have to get into the hard stuff to ever actually like get a buzz, and that's like, it's annoying. But I'll drink beer socially. It's just like this is
right.
And, but it's like Stockholm syndrome. It's like I only like the beers I had a good time drinking.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like oh no, that was a shitty night. I don't drink that beer anymore.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot. I have a lot of things I don't drink for that reason. Yes.
And anything that tastes like black licorice.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like 18 countries all have their own fucking drink, and it's all black licorice flavor.
Yeah.
Well, who got Drambuie? No. Ouzo? No. Absinthe? No. You walk in there like, it's the same damn drink, okay?
Yeah. At first, I loved that. I was like, oh man, this just tastes like black licorice. I like black licorice. But now, anything that tastes like that, I'm like, no.
I almost died.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, too many bad nights with that flavor in my mouth, coming back out of my mouth.
Oh, yeah. That tastes just as good the second time.
Yeah. So, being as you're like one of the smart guys in the comedy group.
Oh, boy.
So I know you're smart. I know, yeah, very. I know you're smarter than me, but do you think you're smarter than a fifth grader?
I'm pretty sure I'm smarter than a fifth grader. I have a third and a fourth grader, and they think I'm a fucking genius.
Oh, there you go.
So, I don't know. When does puberty, if I'm lucky, puberty doesn't hit until 6th grade. So, I'll be smarter than them until that happens.
Yeah, then, as far as they're concerned, at least, yeah.
Well, I was like a trivia kid, growing up. I was the biggest fucking, we wouldn't hang out in high school. We would hang out, in college.
Right.
But we wouldn't hang out in high school because the person I was, it's just, I cringed looking back on that person. One of my oldest friends, pulled up, who's been with me for, 20 years, 25 years at this point, and pulled up, memories, the thing you have to fill out. It's last will and testament. I went to, these are the things I leave behind.
Right, yeah.
And, just looking at it, I'm that's, I can already fucking feel the reflexive cringe coming. If you don't look back on your life and, cringe a little bit the way you were, you either didn't learn or you're just God's perfect asshole. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I look back at a lot of the things that I did when I was younger. I'm like, oh god.
I'm thank God there wasn't video of that.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad that I came up in the time where video wasn't being posted every single stupid thing people do because.
Yeah, don't document your deviance, kids.
Yeah, that's a terrible.
For all the kids who are watching and listening to this.
Well, so with that being said, do you think you're funnier than Jeff Foxworthy?
Than Jeff Foxworthy? I tell his jokes right. Can I Gallagher that shit? Can I steal his I'll shave the beard off and just have the mustache and put on a weird mop top wig.
Yeah.
And I'll just tell those jokes. Okay, I'll smash the watermelon. I'll take that money.
I don't even think I would recognize it if you were, unless it was just you might be a redneck.
You might be from Polk County.
Yeah. Because other than that, I don't know if I know any of his comedy. I've never found it funny.
Oh man, my parents loved that shit. We went and saw him, and it wasn't. It was the other guy. It was because it was Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah.
Ron White,
mm-hmm.
and then there's the third guy. Here's Your Sign.
Oh yeah, man, I forgot.
Before they did that, I saw him and Jeff Foxworthy at the Florida State Fairgrounds.
Okay.
With my parents. I was 14, 15.
Right.
So you don't have a choice. I'm all right, I'm sunburned and I've eaten a lot of greasy food. Now let's go chuckle at these comedians.
Right. I bet they killed him.
Oh man, crushed. Probably just so much ass getting thrown at him.
Yeah, undoubtedly. Whatever happened to that other guy, I wonder?
He's still going. I'm pretty sure he is.
Is he?
Yeah,
because I forgot that guy even exists. I know, Ron White, I still see on stuff all the time. And then, Larry the Cable Guy got super successful doing stuff with Disney and stuff.
Which is crazy too, because that was just a character he came up with. He was on Bubba the Love Sponge. He's local.
I know. I've seen like really old video clips of his like stand-up, and that like he wasn't.
No,
like
it was just a
at all.
character. He was a regular on somebody. I want to say it was Bubba the Love Sponge way in the day, and I could be wrong. Somebody correct me in the comments or whatever. And you heard it here first. I said I was wrong. No, but he was. I remember correctly. He created the character, and it was just a character they had come up. And then like somebody really like there was a truck modifying company that loved the character and made him do all the voices for that, and then like that's what launched it into the stratosphere.
Okay. Yeah. Because somebody told me like a while back that was just a character, and they sent me like some like video clip. They're like, look at this or whatever, and I was like, oh wow.
Imagine having to speak like that for the rest of your fucking life.
Like I wonder if that's just how he is all the time now. Like, because he just like has done.
Well,
it so
I mean,
much.
like Conan talks about that. Like Conan and Jim Carrey are like opposite ends of the coins when they talk about it. Because like Jim Carrey's like, I stopped doing it because like you have to kill the part of yourself that isn't that, and like it's like you're crushing a piece of your soul to do it, and that's why he like stepped away from comedy and went like the opposite way. And then Conan's like, no, I fucking killed that part of me. I can't turn it off anymore, and I hate it.
Okay.
He's like, I can't not be the character anymore because I've been the character for so long that I can't shut it off anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And like that was actually, it's like the existential crisis, and like I always look at it, it's like weird that you take these two people that you wouldn't normally put together and they actually relate in that way.
Right, but the exact opposite. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild. I like Conan. I'm not a giant fan of Jim Carrey, but I like Conan a lot. I didn't like Conan originally. I didn't think he was funny at all. And then I realized that he's like the perfect, like almost kind of like how like Jerry Seinfeld is like on Seinfeld. Like he's the perfect person to have somebody super funny, like him interview somebody super funny.
He's like a living caricature.
Yeah.
Like even down to the head, like being disproportionately sized. You know, like he looks like he should be carrying a tennis racket or surfing on like some weird thing at all times.
Right. But like it's just funny to watch him like laugh at people. That makes me laugh. Like when he laughs hard, it makes me laugh harder. Like,
yeah.
So I don't know.
He's developed that infectious laugh that's hard to get away from. There's a couple comedians locally that are like that too, where like I don't know if they're funny, but they laugh at themselves on stage, and I can't help but laugh along with it because it's an infectious laugh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a fucking gift right there.
For sure.
I could be telling like absolute bombs, and you know, you can't like. It's like Pied Piper, you know?
Yeah, right.
It's like I can't stop following.
It's leading them to the laugh, even if it wasn't funny. That is a gift, for sure. So, I know I saw you say something in the group chat a while back about how you said you had written some, like, new, like, offensive material that you were like nervous about performing.
Well, there's a bunch of stuff that I write that I don't say. Like, part of it is like sometimes I'm just not brave enough to say it because a lot of people assume like like every comedian has this like broken part of them that they like I was talking about I think last night, dimorphic response.
Yeah.
Where like your brain is fried in such a way that it swings all the way back to the opposite of the appropriate response emotionally. So, like, that's why we look at dark stuff that people will be absolutely traumatized and we're like, there's a fucking joke there.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like there's this voice in the back of my head. It's like, what's the worst fucking possible thing you could say in this moment?
Yeah.
And it's like, that guy writes a lot of shit. Because, like, I understand, like, tact and manners and, like, what I'm supposed to say and what I'm not supposed to say. But fuck if that dude isn't going off, like, he's like hit the button, like, let me have the microphone.
Right.
Let me sit in the hot seat. So like there's like just jokes that are just like really dark. Like I actually told one that I thought was dark, and like it recently got updated, and like I just don't have like the balls to like say it in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Because they're like, what a piece of shit. You know what I mean? And it's like
say it.
Well, I mean like because I was like growing up like I was a product of abstinence only education. Which I'm sure you were as well.
Yeah.
So I didn't use a condom for my first 5 or 6 partners, and I dodged STDs and pregnancies, like to the point where like the STDs it was just dumb luck, But pregnancy, like at a certain point, I was just like, I had this nagging thought in the back of my mind. I'm shooting blanks. Like, I'm never gonna have kids. Like,
Right.
there should have been an accident somewhere. Like, there should have been, and I used to say there should have been a Brendan Lee incident at some point, you know.
Yeah.
And now it's like there should have been an Alec Baldwin incident at some point.
Right.
But like
yeah.
that's one of those jokes where it's just like you don't really laugh at it. You're like,
No, I don't think that's too bad. I think you should
you're like,
tell
hello
that.
darkness, my old
I
friend.
think you should tell that on stage. I think that's good too.
I'm just gonna have to get a bunch of my dark stuff together and like make it into a skit or make it into a set.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did one as a challenge set where I just did every joke was the I started it out with every punchline was a lyric to a Nickelback song.
Okay.
Okay, and I started it out with, "Hey, we got any Nickelback fans here?" And you know nobody ever fucking cheers for that.
Right. Yeah.
And
of
that's the
course.
subversion of it. Nobody ever cheers. But at the same time, everybody knows all the lyrics to every single Nickelback because it's ubiquitous. It's everywhere you go.
Right.
So I'm just sitting there and like the groans over and like I love puns too, and like a pun isn't measured off of how much people laugh. It's like you want the groan, you want the and
Yeah.
you want it to be physically painful.
Right.
Like when they hear the pun and like it's to the end of it and I get to the end of the set, you know, I go, you know what, you guys might not have laughed, but I know you're all fucking liars, okay? So because I know it was funny
Right.
because you guys know all the lyrics to all these Nickelback songs and you said you weren't fans.
Right.
And like, that's not a set for the crowd though. That's a set for the comedians in the
For sure.
back. You
Yeah,
know, it's
yeah.
like you motherfuckers fucking tight-lipping me.
Yeah,
You know, you
yeah.
knew the shit was good.
Yeah, sometimes some jokes you do are like that. They're just
Like this one's for me.
yeah, it's just for you, or it's just for somebody that's there that you know is watching, or
Mhm.
you know your friends that are comedians or something like
Oh,
that.
like another dark one is like we have this terrible Ukraine crisis and everything like that.
Mm.
You know, the war and everything, and like there's a dark part of my voice. It's like, you know what? I bet you Ukrainian melon brides are like half off right now. And like that's a super fucking dark joke.
Yeah.
And like I feel for those people, but like that's funny. I mean,
It
that's
is.
funny to me,
It
but
is.
like at the same time, like I have to go to PTA meetings and shit, and like I can't be fair. People are like,
Yeah.
I heard what you said.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not what I believe. I just thought it was funny.
There's even some jokes that I write that I know it doesn't seem like it probably with like most of my sets that I tell, but there's some jokes that I write and I'm like, probably shouldn't tell that.
Yeah,
one.
shouldn't say that.
Yeah, but there is some for sure. But yeah, I know. I definitely agree. There is like a fine line sometimes.
Yeah, there's like tact and tastefulness, and
Right.
I don't know. People are really drunk. Like if I knew a place where like had a 5 drink minimum or something like that,
Yeah.
where you'd be like, and I'm going on last. Everybody's sauced.
Right.
I'm gonna tell some dark shit.
Yeah. Like for example, there's some jokes that even that would be maybe offensive is the word maybe, but like so like either like shocking or whatever, offensive or whatever, that people would be so turned off by it before you even got to the punchline that they wouldn't care. About the
Yeah,
punchline.
they don't. They
So
just
wouldn't-
like be like, boo.
Yeah,
Boo
yeah.
this man.
Right. Like and that's the trick of writing offensive material is you have to
You have to lure him in.
and yeah, you have to have your punchline be the offensive part.
Yeah, you have to walk him down the garden path.
Right. So they're with you for the joke and then they laugh and are like, oh, gross at the same time.
Yeah.
Or, you know, or like, oh, what a jerk, or whatever. But they're already laughing, so you already won. That's the trick of doing it, in my opinion, of doing it.
No, I mean that's good advice for me because like my stuff it just like starts off terrible the whole time. and
you
it's
lose
like-
you lose them
Yeah,
fast.
it's just like
that.
it's gonna be real terrible.
Yeah. But some people are into that too. But as a whole crowd, usually.
As a whole crowd, like maybe you know, like the thing is like you'd have to get famous for it, and you just have to eat shit, just constantly eat shit. But other comedians would be like, we're putting this guy on the show, we fucking because all the comedians are gonna laugh at the dark shit.
Right. Yeah.
Because I don't want to see a comedian. It's like that's not right.
Yeah, no.
Like nobody wants to hang out
No,
with that guy.
no,
We're
no.
all in the back. We sit in the back because we heckle, and we know that that's wrong. So we don't want to be like heard up on the stage. You know?
Yeah. That's not welcome in the comedian like atmosphere usually like people that are like, oh, that's not. I don't think that joke was okay. Be like, you're not welcome.
Yeah.
Go away. So have you ever Have you ever witnessed somebody that you knew in person stealing someone else's or performing someone else's joke?
That's probably me. I am a repository for stuff. Like, I don't know what makes me remember things forever, what doesn't.
Right.
And when I get nervous and I panic, I will fucking it's like the 3-step process of actually speaking, where you think you can come up with the idea, you say it once so it doesn't sound stupid.
Right.
And then step 3 is you actually say it out loud.
Mm.
Like step 1 and 2 go out the window, and it's entirely reflexive. And like, I don't know. It's like I don't know. Like every time somebody's like, "Oh, I could do that." Like anytime anybody gets up on stage, the dude who's drunk and loud will inevitably get up and recite somebody else's jokes.
Always.
Every single time. Like I've never not seen it.
It's either that or he'll just get up and like tell some story that like happened to him that day that's like about one of his friends or something that literally only his friend thinks is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it bombs.
Or he's like secretly bitter because people don't see him the way he wants them to see him, but the way he actually is. And like, oh man, we had one where the guy got up on, and like, I think Art was giving him the light. Art was giving him light. He's like, get the fuck on the stage.
Right. Yeah.
And like to the point where Art's like I'm like looking at Art. I'm like, you want me to go grab this dude? And because he was just like, I'm a libertarian. I'm more liberal. And he's like, I'm more liberal than all of you. And I'm just like, this is not the hill you want to die on, bro. This is just like, you know your audience. Like, this ain't the place. Like, they have rallies.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Did you do that open mic at La La Lounge or whatever?
No, I didn't. I've been in there a couple times.
Or La La
Land. Yeah. I've been
So-
in there a couple times. My job actually, like, before it was La La Land, well, while it was La La Land for a while, but before, like the bar, not the bar, but the liquor store was actually one of our clients, and they knew me, so I didn't want to show up and have to work.
Right.
Because
yeah.
they were one of the clients I had to deal with for work, and it was just like, I'm gonna go there, and they're gonna ask me to fix shit.
Right.
And like, I just want to have a beer. I'm like, off. Like, don't fucking talk to me about work. You're not gonna get work Joe. You're gonna get regular Joe who's tired. Like,
right.
Like,
yeah.
I don't have customer service voice right now.
For sure. Yeah, they did an open mic there. They've done 2 now, but I went to both of them. But the first one I went to, quite a few comedians showed up to it, but not a whole lot of audience. So we were basically kind of just like performing for each other and then like a couple bar regulars.
Right. We've all done that.
Yeah, for sure. But a few of the regulars like kept like heckling the whole show. Like they were like talking the whole time, not paying attention. They kept yelling stuff out. They all thought they were hilarious or whatever. And they kept being like, "Man, this ain't even funny. I could do that." Blah blah, like all this stuff.
Fucking get up
Yeah,
there.
well they did. Like 2 of them signed up and went up there.
Oh man, sometimes you just like, you can't look away. It's like,
I love every second of it.
I
It's
do.
hilarious.
There's a certain Schadenfreude where you're just like, I can taste your suffering
Yeah.
in the air.
Yes. It was brutal and I loved it. It was great.
Because that's like always the thing. Because every now and then, like, maybe 1 in 100, you'll be like, get up there, and they get up there and like, fun. You're like, fuck yeah, man, you should do this.
Yeah.
And like, you're actually like, it's one of those things where you're not even mad about it. You're just like, fuck, that was funny.
Yeah, yeah. The dude.
One
that was-
of us, one of us.
Exactly. That's funny. I do that all the time. The DJ that was doing like sound for that open mic, he got up there like after everyone else, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna give it a shot or whatever." He's like, "I'm not a stand-up comedian." He was like, "But I wrote a couple jokes or whatever. I'm gonna try to." And he got up there, and while his stuff wasn't very like fleshed out, you could tell, you could tell he could do it. He could be.
Yeah,
a comedian.
there was
Yeah.
the root, the foundation was there.
Yeah.
You can see that with some people. They didn't, they don't have the structure worked out and everything.
Yeah.
But like, you've seen open mics that were just died flatter in that.
Right, absolutely, yeah. I've seen people who consider themselves comedians, and
Like, I'm
way
not
worse.
there yet. Like,